friends, welcome to Embellish the Story. I'm Tammy and I want to welcome you to my channel. I'm so glad you're here in my craft room with me today. It's been a few days, actually it's been a week since I have done a video with you guys, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, let's do a project together. So I was watching Laurette's channel last week. She's the Vintage Paper Girl. I think it was Sunday I was watching her channel, and she has is doing this 50 stack challenge with Amy at Crafty Cat, and it is hashtag 50 stack challenge 7, and that's where for 25 weeks, I think it is, you get 2 prompts to do some little kind of ephemera or embellishment with that. And so I thought, well, that's fun, and I need to be pushed out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I thought I would start trying to do this weekly challenge. I'm a little bit late. This is week 3. But if you want to join us, just jump in when you can. Do what you can when you can, and just join us and have some fun. But there are 2 prompts, and the prompts for this week were postage stamps and flowers. So I have a lot of postage stamps that I found in an antique store. So I picked out 2. They're all from the UK. So I picked out 2 postage stamps, and then I have ordered these little rosin flowers. Can you see them in there? And I have been wanting to use these for so long, and I've just really put it off because I haven't known what to do with them. So I thought, well, I'm going to use these because that was my whole intention behind this, was to get myself to use things and do things that I don't normally do. So we've got a couple of little projects. They're going to be pretty quick, and I just wanted to get started on this with y'all. So for this first project, I'm going to set aside the second project. For this first project, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible and do a little postage stamp dangle. Let me move this out of the way. Get this. So I thought I would just do a little bulb pin dangle using the postage stamp, kind of like it's almost like it's a charm. And these postage, this one is pretty substantial, but this one is very flimsy, where it was on the envelope. So I need to reinforce. I'm going to reinforce both of them with just a little paper behind them. So this one, I'm just going to tear this down. I know this is a page from Oohlala Vintage Treasures. I'm just going to reinforce that one for sure. And I'm going to reinforce the other one too. I'm going to try to do these kind of at the same time. All right. These stamps, there are so many different kinds of stamps in that, and this one is really cool. It must have been a Valentine's edition because it says, "Love is like a red, red rose." This one does. I thought that was really neat. And then this one, of course, is Queen Elizabeth. Let me make sure I haven't gotten this too wide. I have. Let me tear this down some. Let me just get that a little more narrow. Okay, so I'm just going to reinforce these stamps so that they're not so flimsy. I got that handy dandy cap, and then I keep forgetting to put it where I can actually set it in the cap properly. Just do this one like that. Okay. So There's my postage stamps. Then I picked out, of course I'm going to put sparkly things on this. So I picked out this little, it's a little pearl trim. And I'm just going to put some of that on this project. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take about 5 for this one. And I'm just going to put this right up here. You know what? I'm going to put a charm up there. I'm going to put it down on this end, because I'm going to put a charm on this. So I'm going to put it down here. Where do I want it? I'll just put it about right there. Okay, so I've got that. And then I'm going to put it on this one, I think right in that space. So I'm going to do 5. All right. So it's been a week. I hope y'all have had a good week since I have not had the chance to spend time with you. I guess I've just had a busy week. I can't really think of anything in particular that was unusual, but I haven't really had time to get up here and do a lot. I came up here and cleaned this weekend, but I haven't had time to do a lot of projects. So I guess I've just been busy doing small things. The weather's been beautiful. I hope y'all are having some beautiful weather where you are. It's been really, really nice here. So that's makes for such a nice fall. Okay, so I'm just going to make little lace and fabric dangles, and that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to dangle this down, like just cascade it down. I'm going to make my fabric, let's see, it's that long. For some reason, this fabric has been cut there a little bit. I'm going to try to cut it like that. Okay. Then I'm going to cut this one a tiny bit shorter. And then I'm just lining them up, and then I'm just cutting each one a little shorter than the other at an angle. I decided to keep this short and sweet. I really just decided not to complicate this. Okay, so I need to cut this one. It's a weird thread. Let me just do it like this. I'm going to line them up. And then I'll just cut once, maybe. Okay. These are so cute on the side of a journal to clip these on, or to put them on the side of a pocket. I like to do that. So I picked a crown for this one because it's Queen Elizabeth, and I probably am not even in frame. I'm sorry. I picked a crown for this one because it's Queen Elizabeth, and I picked a heart for this one because it talks about love. And what I need to do is I need to put a hole in this, but I have one of those big hole things. Why can't I remember the name of it? Anyway, it's awkward to do it on camera, so I'm going to punch a hole. I'm going to put a hole in these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the holes punched. It's one of those big table ones that you press. It's just awkward. The way my camera set up is to get that on camera. I meant to punch the smaller hole, but that one is the larger hole, so it just turned out that way. So I'm just going to take, this is a gold pin, so I picked out a gold charm, so I picked out a gold pin. So I'll just put the charm on. Then the little postage stamp, and then my fabric pieces. And that is so cute. It's a cute little dangle. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so this could not be easier. There's lots of ways to use postage stamps. This is just one way I thought of quickly as I was thinking, what can I do with these postage stamps I have? And then we've got this one. That little heart on that one about love. How cute is that? And then I always like to soften that bulb pen a little bit. To me, they just look kind of harsh for some reason. So I always go back and I'll usually put tulle, and I'll just tie a little tulle bow on them. And that kind of softens that up a little bit. It gives that a little extra something. Okay. So that is so simple for my postage stamp prompt. These little dangles could not be easier. So here we have them. So cute. And then we can just pin them right on the side of a journal page, or I like to put them on the sides of pockets. Okay, so I'm super happy with the way these turned out. And the next one, I just want to do a little tag. I want this tag to look rather, I want it to have a real rustic look to it. So I've kind of chosen some things that might give it that look. I'm going for more doilies and things like that. So I'm gonna go maybe a little bit more rustic than I usually do. Okay, I'm struggling with tearing that one. Okay, so we're gonna put her down. Isn't she sweet? And I picked her because she had some pink in her, and I'm gonna have mostly a neutral tag with just pops of pink, and that's what she had. So I thought, well, I'll go with that. And I'm gonna put a little bit of this lace, or some lace. I can use this lace, this leftover from the other project. I'm gonna put a little bit of this up here. I don't need a lot. Just to kind of put something up there. I'm going to put plenty on the bottom, but I don't know if I'm going to have as much at the top. So I'm just going to put her down. Move that up a little bit. She's so sweet. That little angel face. Okay. All right, so we've got her down. And then this tag I think is like 3.5 wide by 5.5 tall. Then I want her to have a long lacy tail. So this tag would have to be just clipped in a journal. It could not go in a pocket. And I do, you know, so most of the time I try to gear most of my tag decor toward the top so the bottom can easily slip in the pocket. But then sometimes I just want these romantic lacy bottom tags, and I kind of want the lace to slant. So I'm going to kind of go in that direction. She's not wanting to stick. Okay. So I'm gonna angle this. Then I'm just going to kind of ruffle it as I go and have it slant up that way. that's going to give me that slanted bottom of my tag that I was hoping to get. So there's that. I might trim that some more, but I'm going to leave it for now. And then the next layers I was going to put were some doilies, and I've already cut these doilies. These were so pretty. These are so hard to cut for me because I know somebody worked really, really hard on them. So these are hard ones for me to cut. And that one has been starched really well. Okay. So let's see. So that doily is also going to be long, and I'm going to let it just kind of go, not to the side. I'm going to let it go just rather more straight up and down. Okay. So this is giving me that more cottage core look I'm kind of trying to go for. Then I'm thinking of this one on top of that. And I can't decide if I want these little guys in there. Right now I'm just going to do this part. I'm just going to do this edge. See if that's enough. I don't want to cut this up more than I have to. Okay, I think that's about right. And that's pretty. I like the way it's 3 different beiges and then the different textures it gives. And all of those things. Okay. Try to glue it on the more solid part. Okay. So what do we think so far? I like the jacket. I like the threads. I want it to have that more really rustic look. Then I think I want some of this one up here as well. Yeah. This is going to take about 4 of them. I'm going to use this one. This one is so delicate. Okay. Only needed 3 for that one. All right, we'll put this up here. All right. And then I don't like that edge a lot. What have I got on my desk? We'll soften that edge. I think I'm just gonna ruffle this up on top of that. I think I'll do the ruffle like that. I'm just gonna ruffle this a little bit. Put this on here. Okay. Sticking my fingers to it. All right. Okay. Now, this is what we have so far. Now, as far as placement of the flowers, which was the whole point of this, was the flowers. I picked out some buttons I wanted to use. along with some flowers. I think the flowers, I like the contrast of the flowers with the, like the softness of the flowers with the more, the hardness of, I don't know, the hard, what is it, what I'm trying to say? You know, the doilies have a harder, less delicate look. Let's see. I have different types of flowers. I have some lighter pink and some darker pink. You know, I think I want some more buttons. Just a sec. Okay, I grabbed a few more buttons. And thought I would see how I like these. Let's see. Okay. We need one more thing. I don't like the 4 down there. Don't want that little button there. Maybe this one here. Do we want another flower? Kind of like the flower there. So I think I'm going to put that down like that. These are little rosin flowers, and I've had them for a while, and I did get them off Etsy, and I do not remember where I got them. But I do remember getting them off from someone's Etsy shop. That needs to go down better. Okay. So there's that bottom. Let's see about the top here. I'd rather have a button. Maybe I'd rather have a button there. There's a tiny one. Then that button there. This is hard for me to decide. I'm just going to put it down. It's going to be fine. Put this button down right on that fold. I like the back side of that button better than the front side. Like the back. Maybe I want that. Let's see. Maybe that's what's bothering me. Nope. Something right there is just kind of throwing me off. Okay, there's that. Put down this one. Maybe I want this little flower here. Do I want the button? I like the button. Okay. So there is that little tag where I've used the little rosin flowers. So pretty. So I've got the softness of the dainty button, of the dainty roses and the lace, but then the more substantial tatting crochet on these doilies, not tatting. And then we can put a little, I can put a little hole there and put a little tab. So there is my flower prompt. Here are my postage stamp prompt. That's my postage stamp prompt. And that is this week's little challenge. And this is the 50 stack challenge 7. I have it written down and I can't find the sheet. The 50 stack challenge 7. So there it is, my little projects I did for this challenge. I think they turned out really sweet. Thank you for joining me today, y'all. I hope you have a great day and some time to play in your craft room, or if you can't do that, just something you enjoy doing. So take good care of yourself. Always remember to embellish the story, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.